All right, welcome to the RAMS Agents Production Coaching Call. The goal of the call is to help you sell more homes by maximizing your repeat and referral closings by implementing the Referral Agent Mastery System into your practice. My name is Mike Cerrone, co-founder of RAMS Agents, and my co-host is Angela Newman, a master trainer of RAMS Agents. Hello, Angela. How are you today?
Good morning, everybody. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, thank you everybody for being here. I'm going to go ahead and get us started here. And first, I'm going to just share that we've got a quick announcement. We've got a class, master class I'm going to be teaching on Thursday, February 5th, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So can make adjustments. And we're going to be talking about how to get a Google review, a 5-star Google review. I'm going to show you exactly how I did it with a recent past client. Simple process with an email. I'll show you what the email is, and also the review itself, how I took that review and used it for some marketing and to leverage and get more clients. So that's what we're going to be talking about in that class if you want to join us. All right, today, real quick, I want to start off with I don't know what to name this. I'm going to call it the real estate mystery. And so I'm going to start off with a little challenge for you. I'm going to share a story with you. And then at the end of the story, I want you to tell me which way to go. Okay, so I'm going to share a story. And your goal is to tell me at the end what you would do. Which way should we go with this situation? How would you solve this? Okay, so I've got a special project lead. And basically, what's happened here is chatted with somebody over the phone. They are a homeowner. They have a property to sell. They have a house. It needs work. Um, it's not terrible, but it needs some work. And so I went over and I met with this owner and I made them a proposal. And in that proposal, I gave them two options. One, I would buy their place as a cash buyer. And two, we could put it on the market in our coming soon option where we generate multiple buyers at the same time and go for the highest price possible with a quick sell. And and by the way, just so you know, when I do that, I make a pretty low offer. So for me personally, if I'm going to make the offer, it's got to be a really amazing deal. Otherwise, I don't want to close on it. It's got to be so good that I would do anything to try to make that thing close. Okay, so it's going to be a low offer, but it's going to be a true offer. And if the homeowner says yes, great. If not, no problem. I got this alternative for them, which I feel very confident about. Now, if you can't close one yourself, a lot of companies have a program where you can get a cash offer from them. Like for us, we've got click offers. And if you don't have one of those in your company, you probably can find one of them out there online and use that, or team up with an investor in your market, et cetera. There's a lot of ways to make that happen. Anyway, I just want to give you this scenario. I made them a proposal with two parts. Option one, cash offer. Option two, go to the open market. They looked at my cash offer. This is yesterday, and they said, sorry, too low. Thank you for the offer, but too low. So great, no problem. How about this other option? And at first they were pretty excited about it. And then they decided, you know what? No, I'm going to go ahead and do this myself. And so my seller basically flipped and became a FISBO because they said, no, I'm going to just do this myself and I'm going to source this and try to pull in a buyer. And the seller said, hey, the first person that offers me enough, I'm going to take it and I'm done. And I have kind of an idea in my head what that number is, although they never stated it specifically, but they threw some numbers out. So I kind of think I know where that number is. All right. So here's the question. They've rejected my cash offer. They rejected my offer to bring them to market as an agent. What would you do next? That's the question. That's the mystery. What would you do next?
Are they going to list it on anything or like Zillow, or are they just putting a sign in the yard? Do you know?
I don't know what their plan is. They did not state that. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know the answer.
For in terms of price, what they're listing at versus market value?
I'm sorry, Tristan, could you say that again?
Is what they're looking for less than the market value?
That's a good question. And the answer is yes, quite a bit. There's definitely some opportunity here. There's definitely a spread. Now, the property needs work, but there's definitely a spread between what I think the value is and the ballpark where I think they would take an offer. Yeah, a significant one. Pretty good size.
Mike, do you have other potential buyers in mind that you know that if you took them this offer at the price the guy actually wants, might be able to buy it or might want to buy it?
Yes.
So I'm thinking you do a in my state we can do a like a showing agreement basically. And it's specific for, well, you can make it as specific as you want it to be, I guess, but you are given the opportunity to represent that property, and you've already agreed with the seller on what your compensation is going to be if the buyer buys it, and then you go and show it to those folks. That's then you're off market.
Blake, that's a great statement, a great idea. I'll throw out another piece of information. The seller has stated they don't want to pay commission.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, my guess also is that whoever you have in mind that might be interested in buying it would be aware that um, it's a bargain, even if they're paying your commission. So maybe you go that route and get them to agree to pay your commission. And again, you're going to the seller and agreeing on the opportunity to show it at this price and quote this price, and that's the only price you can quote.
Blake, you got the answer, at least the answer that I'm coming to. Uh, and so in this situation, I was looking at one, representing myself and just buying it outright from the seller, just as a private party. That got rejected. Two, hey, I'll represent you, seller, and I'll go out there and negotiate and get you the best price possible. He rejected that offer. And so at this point, my next thought is, hey, I'm going to switch teams. I'm going to be a free agent, right? And because we're able to do that, I've not signed any agreement with this person. So I'll just switch teams. And I know investors that can come in. In this case, it's kind of an investment type property um, because of the condition. So I know buyers that can come in and buy this thing with cash, which is what he wants. He wants cash in a fast close. And so I'll just go talk to them and bring them in and have them pay me my compensation, right? So I'll just switch teams, right? So that's my theory. That's what I'm going to work on today, and I'll tell you the rest of the mystery story and how it plays out. Blake, you nailed it. That's exactly the steps that I kind of went down. Will this be successful? I don't know, but that's the approach. Why am I spending any more time with it? Because at first I'm like, okay, well, I'm done. Let's move on. And I'm like, you know what? I got this person. They want to sell this property. I got this property. It's there's a price here that I think it's worth if it's fixed up. They're down here, I think, where they would accept something. There's an opportunity there for somebody. I think I can put people together as a true broker. I think I can help the seller. I think I can help the buyer, bring them and put them together and get compensated for doing that. And so that's what I'm going to work on later today. So good job, Blake. I think Blake won the competition. What do y'all think? Yeah. Does anybody have any other ideas? I'm open to ideas. Anybody have another suggestion that I maybe didn't think about?
So I love Blake's idea, but I have a question. And
Mhm.
I apologize if it's a stupid question or put you on the spot, but a lot of these investors are either licensed or they have a real estate agent that they work with a lot. And so I could see how that would pose a challenge. So how do you do that where you basically tell the investors about this off-market property, if you will, but convince them that they have to work with you so that you're not just cut out of this because you're now the one putting all this time and effort, excuse me. How do you convince the investors to go with you and not the other agent that they've bought multiple homes with?
It's a great question. So how do you make sure you don't get edged out of the deal? Does who has an answer for that one?
A lot of investors will have agreements with agents, and this is why sometimes it can be difficult working with agent or investors that it's specific to a property. So they'll have a buyer agreement for a specific property and not for exclusivity. And so a lot of it because the investors want to be able to jump on opportunity and not be tied to an agent. And if they did have something like that, you can still charge a finder's fee because that agent didn't find it. You found it, and they still may have an agreement with their agent and they still may choose to work with you as well.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, I had no idea how that would work.
Angela hit it. That's exactly what my strategy is to sign a buyer agency agreement with my investor and for a single property and a single short amount of time. And if it comes together, great. And if not, great. But that way also the investor doesn't try to go around me. So you talked about going around me with an agent. They could just try to go around me direct to the seller. But the investor doesn't know who this person is. They don't know where the property is, right? So even if, and I've been thinking about it, even if I shared the property, they would have a very difficult time figuring out who this person is because of the situation and who to talk to fast enough before I would just go talk to another investor, right? So I'm kind of in the driver's seat there, but yes, there's risk. There's risk in everything we do. But that's how I would mitigate that or reduce it. Good question.
Are you able to wholesale the property, Mike?
So Tristan, what do you mean by wholesale?
Like get it under contract with the buyer, the seller at a particular price and then sell the contract to an investor at a different price and then net the difference?
Yeah, that's it's a good question. And that may be a possibility. That may be an option. I'll tell you that in my conversation, so you've got to kind of pick a side and make an argument for why your approach is a good approach, right? To your client or potential client, in this case, prospect. And so I already made a pitch of, hey, you should use me as your agent because there's a lot of frothiness out there in the market. There's a lot of challenges in working with investors because they're not all the same. And there's different levels and qualities of investors. And now I've explained this to this particular homeowner that, hey, there's some risk here. And I pointed out that a wholesaler is their biggest risk because that wholesaler may never close. They don't have their own funds and the property can get tied up. And off the market, the property can get tied up and end up in a lawsuit, which we've seen recently on this show, right? All kinds of weird things can happen. And if you're not dealing with somebody who can fund the deal themselves. So there's different levels of investors. And I've explained that to them. And again, just real quick, I shared with them, there's two types of investors. There's a buy and hold investor and a flipper, right? A flip investor, fix and flip. And for the flipper, the fix and flip, they fall into categories. And that would be one, they're self-funding. They got their own cash. Those are the rarest, but the strongest. Okay. And then you got a second group. They're going after hard money. They're going to get financing from someone, usually hard money because they're doing so many transactions. It's just based on the property itself. It's not based on their finances and their ability to close. From a financial perspective, it's based on the property itself. So it's hard money. It's coming from a private lender. And then the third And we're going down from strongest to the weakest. The third is the wholesaler. They're not closing with their own money at all. And so that's why they become risky. Not that they can't close, just because they're risky. And so I've explained that to this particular homeowner. And my effort was, hey, my goal was, hey, look, there's a lot going on out there. Why don't you just have me help you navigate these waters? And instead, he said, I'll just take care of myself. Right? That's basically what he ended up saying. So I've already positioned against that. So it'd be hard to turn around and then do it. But it's not a bad idea. Yeah. Good. Any other solutions or thoughts? All right, was this fun? Go through a kind of a mystery case study there. All right, cool. All right, well, we'll let you know how the mystery pans out in the end. All right, let's switch gears now. Again, we're here in the production call. We're talking about getting more repeating referrals. We follow the referral agent mastery system. Again, remember, you've got your quick start guide. We talked before about events. We've got Valentine's Day coming up. That's always a good time to do an event. I believe some of us are doing some events this month, so we can talk about that. We can talk about any hot topic that you have. I want to open that up early. If you have a hot topic or challenge you want us to talk about and address, let's get it out there on the table right now so we can talk about it. So in fact, let's do that right now. Any hot topics you want us to talk about?
Yes, I have something related to production. Yesterday, I met my first lead this year door knocking. So it was interesting because I almost made a mistake because when you're door knocking a lot, you kind of have like a lot of the same response, like, "Oh, not interested," and then you have your line. So when someone is like, when I ask them, "Have you ever considered moving?" and they're like, "Yeah, we did last year," I kind of almost fumbled it, but like I recovered and was able to make the connection. And they asked me to send them some comps, so I sent them some comps, and I'll follow up again today to see if they got them and try to schedule a listing appointment.
Oh, wow. This is great. So you knocked on a door and you found a homeowner who's thinking about selling even though they just bought a year ago.
No, last year they were thinking of selling.
Okay, last year they were thinking of selling and didn't. Okay.
Right.
And that threw you because you thought what, they weren't really motivated?
It threw me because normally the responses you get is like, "No, we're not interested in selling," or "No, we have no plans to move." So when someone's actually like, "Yeah, we considered it," it's kind of different than what you're used to,
And you're like, are you
carrying.
sure? Are you sure you want to move? I don't know if you really want to move. I don't think that's that can't be the answer.
Nobody else on this street wants to move. So what about you?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, so it took me a while to realize like, oh, wait a minute, this person might be a lead.
That's fantastic, Tristan. Congratulations on getting a lead at the door. And I'm sorry, was there a question or a challenge, or were you just making an observation?
No, just an observation, just making some progress. It's like sometimes you feel like, man, this isn't really panning out, but you never know which phone call is gonna be the one or which door is gonna be the one. So just wanted to share that.
That is fantastic. And was it the first door you knocked on, the last door you knocked on?
It was the third door, but my first conversation. So yeah.
Yeah. I find that often for some reason that you'll get people right on your very first conversation. You're not quite ready, so you're kind of stumbling along. You just got to kind of push through it. That's why it's a really good idea to practice your scripts a little bit before you start role play. Don't be role playing with the
Yeah.
first person that answers the phone for me, or now answers the door for you. Make sure that you're ready with you've already prepped yourself with a couple quick role play scripts. It only takes a couple minutes to roll through that. But I do that before I make a call. I try to read my script real fast once or twice, just get myself in the state, right? So good job, Tristan. That's exciting. So good luck with those comps. I hope you get that listing, and that's great news. It's going to be a fantastic year for Tristan. Tristan's been knocking on doors every day this year. Boom, 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 boom. He's building up his business early. He's not waiting until the spring. So smart, Tristan. All right, cool.
Great year for us all, Mike. We're all going to be prospecting this year. So big things for 2026.
That's absolutely right. Good job. All right, does anybody else have any issue, challenge that you want to present to the group? Any comment that you want to make before we move off of hot topics? So hot topic again is where you bring your biggest challenge or issue or thing you want to share with the group, and we get it out there on the table and talk about it with the mastermind. Okay. All right, good. Well, if you think of one, let me know. Let's do this. How about good news? Do we have any good news somebody would like to share?
I think one piece of good news is the fact that we're getting some response from the mailers that we're sending with people texting you, asking questions. Um, Even though they're not ready to do anything, they're looking at you as a point of reference and they're asking you questions. And so that shows me that one, people are getting our marketing materials that we're sending out, and two, they're actually reading them because, I mean, face it, how much mail do we get that we just toss and don't even really realize what it is? And so something that we're doing is working. It's standing out, it's catching people's eyes. And, we've gotten a handful now of reach outs and scans of people asking additional questions. And then when we provide that service to them, hopefully they remember that down the line. So I just think that that's really encouraging that the mail is getting noticed.
Yeah, good point, Kim. Yeah, so we sent out our resource postcard, and I've been communicating with somebody over the last 24 hours who said, "Yeah, I'd like to get some more information about this or that. I need want somebody to help me with this, and I need somebody to help me with that." And it's not directly my services as a real estate agent, but it is in the real estate field, and it has a high probability of leading to business. So it's basically helping people prepare properties um, as they're moving along through a process. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We got a response on that, and just recently, just last couple of days, and I've been communicating. In fact, I'll do more of that this morning. I've been getting clarity about exactly what they need. All right. Anybody going to do an event this month? If so, what event? How's it coming along?
I am. Oh, and Angela, you are too. I know. Sorry. I'll just quickly mention mine. I imagine it's related to some things we've talked about in the past here, and that is I'm going to do a Valentine's dinner giveaway, but I was going to just have people sign up, and be in the wheel of names and do a drawing. But I liked Kim's idea so much of doing the jar of sweetheart kisses or hearts or whatever they are. They're not kisses, they're sweetheart candies. And guess how many candies are in the jar? And the reason for that is I can execute that on social media very well with a lot of interaction. So that's my event for next week. Yeah, and
Cool.
give away a dinner certificate.
So you're going to do the person who guesses the closest to the number
Yes. I hadn't
for
thought
the
about
winner?
specifics, whether it be the closest without going over or,
Right. That's where I was going. Is it
yeah.
closest without going over like the Price is Right, or
Yeah.
just the closest
What?
in general? What if you have a tie, like they're both within one? I think
Yeah.
that's why they do it without going over.
Yeah. That's what I was just thinking. That might be the tiebreaker is the closest without going over. And if there's two people that get, well, if I think Angela had that answer, if there's two people, if I'm doing it on social media, they'll be time stamped. Whoever's guess
Guess
came in
first
first. Yeah.
if they guess the same number.
Yeah. If they guess the same number. Is that the way to go with that, Angela? You think?
That's what I've been doing recently is if they it's whoever guesses correctly first or guesses the closest first. Yes. And
When
that
I
way, they can go over or whatever.
when I used to do this with my staff all the time, I would do whoever got closest. So even if they were over, I would still, give away the whatever. We used to kind of do this with the agents in the office when we ran a big team, and I've done it with my staff in other industries. I just wanted to show you guys. I bought ours on Saturday, and I was going to get the regular conversation hearts. Um, But then I kind of gagged internally because I'm like, well, those are just gross. So I got the sweet tarts ones because I figured somebody would at least maybe like to eat those. And I was on the fence whether I was going to do chocolate or just these, but I mean, these were, I don't know, like $5 a bag or, much cheaper than a $15 bag of chocolate. Um, so now I just need to find a cool jar to put them in. And then we need to get the gift certificate. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys do and how it goes.
Why are we doing giveaways? Are we just super friendly people that want to give away treats? We're not in the treat giveaway business. What do we do? Why are we doing this?
That's a great question, Mike. Yeah, how are we making sure that this is benefit? We're doing it to remind people that we're in this business. That's why we're doing it, but we need to come up with a strategy of why that, how do we make that connection?
Yeah, I just want to point out to everybody that we're not doing these events because we just love doing events. Maybe you do, by the way, but it's not because it's an event. We're an event company. We're doing it because we're a real estate company that wants to get in front of people that we know, they know us, and we expect to do business in the future. It's just an easier way to start a conversation and to make sure our face stays in front of them, right? So that's what the top agents figured out. They figured out, yeah, you're going to get business if you call up people on the phone and say, hey, are you thinking about moving in the next 90 days? Yeah, great, let's do something. No? Okay, I'll call you in 90 days. Click. Yeah. So that's one way to do it is go on the phones. And people do that. They still do that and make a lot of business. It's just hard. It's a hard slog to keep making that direct request and direct offer over and over again. You have to get in front of your people somehow. That's the most direct method to do it. But for most agents, that becomes difficult. And if you do it too much or you do it incorrectly, pretty soon the people you're calling don't want to take your call because you sound like you're asking for stuff all the time and not providing something. And so by flipping the script and offering something, you're still getting in front of your people. You're reminding them that you're around and you're able to do some business with them. Because these people already know, like, and trust us, it's all we got to do is just make sure we're staying top of mind with them. If we were going out to strangers, just remember, this is a special group, PCSY. They already know, like, and trust us. They've already done business with us. Their friends, their family, they already know us well. We just want to stay in front of them and remind them we're in real estate. If it were strangers that we're reaching out to, this approach is not going to work very well at all, right? Because there's no offer. There's no offer of service. There's no call to action. It's very generic. But because we have this special group, events work with a special group just to get out in front of them. Okay. Now, some people will double things up. If they do a bigger event, they'll say in the old days where they would do a gala, and they have all these people in a room, and you can imagine they're going to do dancing and food and a feast. What they would do is they would actually put cards on the table with a little call to action saying, hey, if you can think of anybody that needs our services, could you please write their name down? Okay. They would then tie that into, it's now coming back to me, they would have a raffle. Maybe they have a raffle at this event. And they would have a card that says, hey, write your name down for the raffle. And then on the back side of the card, say, hey, by the way, do you know anybody thinking about buying or selling homes in the next 90 days? If you do, please write their name and phone number down and drop your card in when you go in to enter the raffle. And so then they get the raffle, they do the raffle, and then now they got the tickets and there's some leads on the back. So that's how they would tie it in. But in general, what things have evolved into for events is you're just getting out in front of your people that you already know, and they already know you. Okay. So that's the answer to the hardcore business people listening to us right now, and why events work.
I just had another angle on this. I have an open house on Saturday this weekend. Chose not to do it on Sunday because of Super Bowl Sunday. We thought,
Wise
let's do it.
choice.
Yeah, thought we'd do it on Saturday, and the weather's going to be good. And I'm thinking, I'm thinking I need to have this jar or vase of sweetheart, sweet tart conversation hearts, and have them on hand at the open house, and have people that be an alternate way to sign up. Or I thought I'd just throw that out there and see if there's I mean, do I make them associate with me on social media, or do I let them guess on the spot? The main thing is I'll say, you can come look at it and
I
get a
love
better
that.
feel.
I think
That's a
that's a
great
great
idea.
idea. I love that idea.
So are you thinking that you want to use that to get people off your PCSOI? So there's a lot of, you got to think of what your goal is. Is your goal to get people in your PCSOI to come to your open house? Is your goal for the people that do come to the open house to participate in this event and possibly win a prize? For instance, you could have two prizes. You could have a prize for your PCSOI to guess, and now you do just totally separate competition with the same jar with the
Yeah.
people that come into the open house, and they get a different prize. Maybe they get a $5 gift card to Starbucks, or $10 or something. Whereas your PCSOI, you were offering a $50 certificate to go for a dinner for two or something, right? You can have different prizes for two different events and use the same jar as the centerpiece. The only thing is, make sure that people at your open house don't open up that jar and start eating those candies, because now your account's going down, right? Um, but it depends on if your goal was to pull more people in from your social media marketing to come look at the jar, as you mentioned at the end, or was it to have people win a prize or participate? Maybe at the open house, they're going to give you information in order to participate in the raffle, right? Like we were
Yeah.
just talking about. So they have to give you their name and contact information in order to make a guess on the jar in order to win whatever the prize is. What's your
Yeah,
goal?
that's actually what I was thinking, is to gather their information. Also, it also back to the social media part with my PCSOI. Um, I'm going to be doing something from the property, a Facebook Live or something like that from the property when I start the open house. So I thought it could be another visual. And by the way, I'm going to have the jar here. If I get it published before, if I get the contest underway before Saturday, then I can say, and I'll have the jar here so you can come look at it. You know, I think whether it's my PCSOI, if some of my people come to the open house, I don't expect any of them to, but if they do, my client will be happy with that.
Is it
The
vacant?
It's vacant. Yeah.
Okay, good. I was just thinking you don't want like 100 people running through this house, people you
No, no,
don't
no.
know,
Yeah.
and things
No, my
disappearing.
client would like to have more people going through it. I mean, they're pretty big on the numbers coming through the
Exposure.
open. Yeah.
Cool. What does everybody think about that?
Hey Blake, have you looked at Mike's mega open house system?
I have. I have. I'm a little late to the game to get that on for this particular Saturday for all the elements, but I can do some of them. I can.
I love the idea of tying the hearts in with the open house. And seriously, you could throw that together in like less than 5 minutes. It's going to take longer to go to a restaurant and pick up the gift card. But actually, you don't even have to have that ready by Saturday. You could just do a little printout, the winner of whoever guesses closest to the number of jars is going to win a gift card for $50 to Olive Garden or whatever you decide to do. I love that idea. And you can, I mean, my creative brain goes crazy because why would we keep it in a box? I would I would blow it out as, I really love on my clients and I would, put in this whole love thing. You don't need to do all that. You could keep it super, super simple, 5 minutes or less. And, this is just to show how much I love my clients or, something so easy. But I love the idea of bringing it to the open house and trying to make some additional contacts. I think that's really smart.
Very good. Well, I will make that one of the entry options. Come to the open house and you can do it in writing right there. Otherwise, you got to do it on probably on Facebook. Yeah.
Cool. I can't wait to hear how that works out, Blake. Good luck at your
Yeah.
open house on
Thank you.
Saturday, not Sunday. Cool. Um, excellent, excellent. Anybody else doing an event and you want to share what you're doing?
I am planning to do something, kind of going back and forth. I've done the counting jar before, haven't done it for Valentine's, so I do love that idea. Um, and just trying to decide how I want to do it. But yeah, so I haven't completely decided, and I like Blake your ideas because even if you weren't doing accounting, let's say you were just doing a giveaway for the restaurant gift cards, and it would just be like, name your favorite Valentine movie or romantic movie, or you could do anything to get them to enter. Um, and if you come to my open house, you have an additional entry to win or something like that. But I really like tying it into the open, so that gave me some good ideas.
Sorry, I stepped away, got a little bit of water. What did we think? What do you think of Angela's idea?
So Angela's gonna I made a note here about the name your favorite Valentine movie or I don't know if rom-com or whatever you would do, your favorite movie with love relationship, I guess it would be it.
Hmm.
Um,
I've found that when you do that, it does take a little more effort and you're probably going to get less entries. The like count the things in the jar is the easiest, because it just
mm,
takes a very quick answer and choice. Um, but but yeah. So I
you
haven't
could
quite
do
decided, but I better decide. It's coming up very soon.
It's interesting, what you just said about the simplicity. It depends on your goals, of course. If you want to really engage and have fun, maybe it's not just a number, but if you want a lot of people to participate, the number's the way to go because you'll get
Hmm.
more reaction. It reminds me of when I was working at the TV station here in town. We would do contests, and we found later in my time there that the only contest that really generated any volume of participants was text to win because it was the easiest. It was just text 123 to 234. That's you couldn't ask anybody to do more than that. You couldn't say, "Hey, write in and tell us your story about whatever," because you'd get three people that would do that. So you
Yep.
got to keep
And
it simple. That's a very good point, Angela. Keep it extremely simple so that the method of entry is they're still engaged, but they didn't have to do much to enter.
hmm I think for the ones that are more involved, might need to give them more time. But anyway, yeah, I think that just doing something, it goes back to if we just do something, that's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, it's a great idea. I love it. I was thinking a friend of mine always does these silly games on Facebook, and they're very creative. And so I was trying to think of, how we could kind of do that and tie it into your, what's your favorite rom-com or what's your favorite Valentine's movie. Now you have me thinking in a whole different vein. I love that idea. Because like you said, it's simple. It's easy for people to respond, and the more people respond, the more Facebook is going to show it in their algorithm to other people. That's a really cute idea.
One of the ways you could do it is to enter if you do a random drawing, to enter the contest, you ask them the question about their favorite um, rom-com, romantic comedy, and you have it's in a survey format. So you have the answers already there, A, B, C, and D, and they pick one, right? Um, and that makes it easier, maybe a little faster for them to answer. They don't have to try to imagine what all the movies are they've ever seen. It's just you list a couple of the most popular ones, and then they're just going to pick A, B, C, or D, and now they're in the contest.
That's another great idea. Yeah, and you could even have other, and then they could put it in the comments if they just have this want to add to it. Because, like me personally, when I'm coming upon a holiday, whether it be um, Christmas or whatever, I like watching holiday themed shows or movies. So I think other people do too. Okay, what movie do you recommend that we watch and let people participate? But yeah, good ideas.
You could do it where you look at a list of the top rom-coms grossing revenue or ticket sales or something, list the top three and say, hey, which one of these was the number one most popular rom-com of all time, right? So you narrowed it down to then now they're picking an
Do some kind
option.
of trivia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's just for the faster answer. So,
hmm
and run it as a survey. So they just pick A, B, C, or D. And I believe you can do a survey on Facebook, right? Just click it and they just, you do the answers and they click and then the results come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, well, that sounds good. Sounds like we've got a lot of good ideas coming into the week. Glad to hear it and into the new month. Um, we've run out of time for our production call. Thank you, everybody, for being here for that. Let's switch gears and go into our huddle where we talk about the number one thing you did yesterday to move your business forward and the number one thing you're going to do today. Who would like to start?
I guess I'll start. Number one thing yesterday was door knocking. For the first time this year, I hit over 100 doors. And number one thing for today is again door knocking, and I'm gonna try to surpass what I did yesterday.
Wow, Tristan, how many doors did you knock on yesterday?
I'm not sure exactly, maybe 106, maybe 105, something like that.
Just over 100. That is fantastic. How long did that take you to do?
I don't know, maybe 4 hours and a bit.
4 hours of focused effort, and it resulted in you getting a seller lead. Nice. Good work.
Thanks,
Nice
Mike.
job, Tristan. And good luck with the door knocking today.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job staying focused on lead generation, focused on how are we going to get our next client. All right, cool. Who would like to go next?
Yesterday, I have some leads that I am working through, trying to just do a little research about them and prospecting here in the future. So I worked on that yesterday, and then I'm working on that today too.
Good job, Angela. Good luck with that lead gen. And can't wait to hear more about how that plays out. All right, who's next?
I'll jump on. Yesterday was a busy day with some back and forth communication, negotiation, and work on a offer that my clients made on Monday, I guess it was, or on Sunday. Anyway, we did not get the purchase. They signed a deal with another person and offered for us to be the backup. So we're kind of talking through that right now. Number one thing today is actually going to be, I think I've got to get this conversation hearts thing going, get my contest underway, or at least get everything in order. And I've got to go get my signs up at the open house. So I'm going to think through how that's going to connect to the open house. And I think that'll help connect the contest to me being a realtor. So I want to do that.
Fantastic. That sounds good. Good job on negotiating yesterday. Without negotiating, nothing happens. And so glad to hear that you were out there in the field making things happen. And sometimes they come together, sometimes they don't. Then you got to decide, make that decision on whether your buyers want to be in backup position. It's their decision. You can help them with the pros and cons of that. Good luck. Can't wait to hear how that plays out.
Thank you.
All right. And I think I just saw some, was that Yevon? Yevon posted his answer for his huddle. It's good morning. Yesterday did an office buyer investor consultation. Today planning to show a few homes for my past clients around $1 million. Wow, Yevon, fantastic. Good luck with that. Yeah. Let's hope that works out well for you. All right, cool. Good luck on that one. And again, hope that comes together. All right. I think, Kim, you're next.
So yesterday, Mike worked with me a little bit on agent attraction, and we worked on scripts. And then, to kind of talk through some different strategies for this seller situation that he brought up at the beginning of this call. I have a special project from him that I need to do today, doing some data and some research. So I'm going to get that knocked out today. And yeah, I'm not sure how long that'll take, but it'll probably take at least a good solid couple of hours. And then if I have time, I'll do the click offers training, which
Cool.
I've been carrying over on my to-do list for weeks.
Cool. Well, that makes a few of us. All right. Cool. All right. Good job, Kim. Thank you very much. Let's see. Yesterday, as I mentioned, I made a proposal for a homeowner that we talked about at the beginning. And today I'll continue to work on that with these, one of the solutions we just talked about with pulling in a buyer and seeing if we can't come at it by switching teams and making something happen there. And also, in addition to that, yesterday did some prospecting calls, and I'll do some more today. Always got to be focusing on how you're going to get new business. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here.
Did Tristan get to go?
Oh, yeah, I think he brought it at the beginning.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, but thank you for asking, because I do sometimes miss people. Anybody, did I miss anybody this time? Well, all right, cool. Hey, thank you everybody for being here. I hope you have a fantastic and productive rest of your day. Take care. Bye now.